Rental inflation slightly eased in October. However, with its lag to real-time data, debate on the Fed's fight against inflation pulls into focus. With more on this, let's bring in our very own Dani Romero. Dani, good to see you.
Yes. Let's put this into perspective. Like you said, rent inflation has eased, but BLS lags 6 to 9 months from real-time data. So let's look at the CPI numbers. Shelter costs, that is the biggest service component, also a third of overall CPI. That increased 6.9% on the year and 0.8% last month. However, real-time data shows that rent has significantly cooled. So we aren't really going to see that data reflect CPI until next year. So that's why there's this debate among housing economists whether or not the Fed will overshoot it. And some argue that the Fed could be headed in that direction. According to RealPage data, asking rent growth month over month peaked last year for market rate apartments, and renewal rent growth peaked this year, as vacancies have also been on the rise since March, as landlords really try to focus to retain tenants while also dealing with high inflation. Others argue that the Fed, they're not concerned that the Fed is paying so much attention to CPI and not other indexes that show rents being paid on new contracts.
So with all of this in mind, housing demand and lower builder confidence also weighing on the housing market. Home builder D.R. Horton raising a red flag. What can you tell us there?
Yeah, so like you just said, the largest U.S. home builder really signaled this week that buyers are fleeing the housing market. D.R. Horton said on Wednesday that buyers canceled a third of deals, and that's up 19% from last year, and new orders also declined. So the company is responding by walking away from land deals that no longer fit their metrics, as there is this big housing shift. And not only that, but the company said that they're offering sale incentives that include mortgage interest rate locks, also other incentives to really tackle that affordability concern. But according to Wall Street analysts, it will really come down to the stabilization of rates in order for demand to increase.
Dani Romero, good reporting here. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.